You know, if you're not a part of that 1%, you're one paycheck away or one firing away from being homeless, being disenfranchised, and essentially being one of the people that we serve.
Hey guys, what's good? And welcome to the COSIGN Life. If you're watching this video, that means you co-sign us and we co-sign you. So here are a couple of ways to support us at COSIGN Magazine. Number one, view the description below, click the link, and purchase an issue of COSIGN Magazine. Just like this one right here, physical. You can purchase this. Number two, you can also support us by purchasing COSIGN merch. Hit the link below and it'll take you to all our past merch items, and we'd love to have your support and see you wear COSIGN Magazine. Good world, we're back with another episode of COSIGN Conversations. This one's really special to me, man, because we go way back from early COSIGN days when KG ain't have a name, COSIGN wasn't a name, but these guys really messed with me like early on, you know what I'm saying? So without further ado, we have my guy Pat and Coyia, founders of United People's Coalition. How y'all doing today?
Good. Appreciate you guys.
Good, yeah.
Say, man, this is beautiful what you guys are doing. We're gonna get into it, but first and foremost, before we get right into it, I want to understand how y'all met.
You want to tell me?
Honestly, how did we meet?
It was through the scene.
Okay.
Really, yeah, it was more through
Just
the
like-
scene, like intermingle with the same people.
Yeah.
I think that how we came into each other's realm was we had a lot of friends that worked for Nike when it first opened up.
Okay.
Nike employed half of the fucking
Okay.
Dallas.
Yeah, it was a lot of us in there.
Yeah.
So when you say Nike store?
Yeah, Nike store.
Okay.
Nike store.
Rollo was actually, I came in with kind of like the original crew. We helped open the store, and then Rollo came in that first wave of like Christmas. And so that's when I met Rollo, and then through that, the beauty bar scene.
Oh yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah.
It was, man.
That was a good time.
It was.
Yeah, and that's where me and you met back in the day when COSIGN first started. I was covering these shows, you know what I'm saying? You were heavy in the marketing promotions, and we crossed paths and been locked in ever since. But now you're on a different path, man.
Whole different path.
Whole different path. So for those who don't know, we want to introduce our audience to it, man. Tell us what United People's Coalition is and what made y'all come together to form this.
The United People's Coalition is a community organization, mutual aid organization.
Okay.
We're about empowering the disenfranchised and making sure that the disenfranchised people of our communities,
right,
cross-culturally too, are taken care of.
Okay.
Baseline needs. Mutual aid, that's really what it's about, is supplying baseline needs, personal hygiene, feminine hygiene products, baby stuff, things along that nature, as well as get out the vote initiatives, other things we do, Liberation is about having good mental health, good physical health,
right,
emotional health as well, spreading along information. So anything grassroots that you can think of, United People's Coalition, we engage in, and advocating for the disenfranchised of our community is what we're about.
Yeah.
That's
it.
So let me ask you this, man. You would think, somebody who's not embedded in this, you would think that's where like the government would come in, right? So where's you would think. So where is the disconnect at to why people aren't getting the essential needs that they should have, that we should all have as being, Americans, but that they don't have? So that's where y'all come in. So like, where's the disconnect at?
I don't know if obviously there is, there is a disconnect, and I think that's kind of like where we feel like that's our part.
Right.
It's kind of bridging that gap for like, obviously we kind of know like the government has really showed like, since forever that
right,
how they feel about our people, So
right,
I think that's like kind of just like what we want to do is like kind of just continue to bridge that gap. And connect our people to those resources, because I think a lot of it is like, people just don't know where to go.
It's another thing. Lack of information.
Yeah, for sure. So I think a lot of that is, just trying to figure out a way to continue to like bridge these gaps on like in different realms,
Right.
like, the health, we started talking about like horticulture and, health and just everything that like our people we feel like our people are like lacking like that information and those resources on.
Definitely, man.
And hold on, it's another part to that too. It's those who we elect that represent us that also bear the burden of that, like at the local, county, state, and federal level.
Right.
I don't want the people to think that it's just on Congress people or
Right.
the president or whatever. Nah, Eric Johnson shares the blame, just like Dwayne Caraway or John Wiley Price or any local or state or Greg Abbott, Ken Paxton, like any politician at any level. They're the reason why the social safety net, which is supposed to take care of the people, isn't strengthened. And to Coyia's point, that's where we come in and fill that void with the what I would call the community quilt.
Okay.
The community quilt is where we make up for where the social safety net fails us.
Gotcha.
Because at the end of the day, the people only have ourselves.
Right.
Where there's people, there's power, and we only have ourselves at the end of the day. And I think that the pandemic, a year of what we just seen,
Right.
I think that proves that point.
And is there a specific demographic or geographic that you're focusing on in Dallas? Like, I want to say I hear a lot more about South Dallas. Is that where y'all kind of focused on right now?
That's where we do a lot of our work out of,
Okay.
Specifically the 75215 zip code. Statistically, it's a lot of poverty there.
Right.
It's a lot of like people traveling to far places and they don't have the proper transportation, and the public train system or the public transportation system isn't as adequate. So a lot of our work is there because that's where the most disenfranchised people in our city, that's where they're at.
Right.
Our aim, it's cross class.
Okay.
And when I say cross class, middle class and lower middle class, etc. Honestly, everybody who's not a part of that 1%.
For sure.
If you're not a part of that 1%, you're one paycheck away or one
Right.
firing away from being homeless, being disenfranchised, and essentially being one of the people that we serve.
Definitely.
So I think that the aim is cross-cultural. Cross-class.
Right.
As a black man, of course, I'm going to want to serve black people first.
Right.
That's always going to be my goal, personally.
For sure.
But as somebody who runs a community organization and who created something beautiful with my friend here, we're serving cross-class because the struggle is cross-class, black, white, Asian, etc. So
Hispanics, all for sure.
Yeah.
One thing I see you guys wearing your shirts, and I see the logo, upside down triangle. I want you to explain that because I read it in an email what it stands for, but I want the people to actually know the purpose behind it and what made y'all choose to go this route for your logo.
The logo is about the transformation of power. Okay. The triangle by itself, the power comes from the top.
Right.
But when you turn that triangle upside down like the logo, the people are at the top and the people get the power. The power belongs to the people. Right. It's a reformation of power, essentially. So yeah, that's the end goal. That's what we want to do, and I think that's what mutual aid is about. It's about taking care of the people,
right, and
ideologically, long term, putting the power in the hands of the people in a variation of ways.
Right. How does others come into it and help? Because you hear a lot about people who want to get involved in the community, want to help organizations like y'all's, want to be civil servants, etc. But I don't know if it's lack of information or people. I'm gonna say a lot of it's equates to laziness. People don't know where to look, right? So if you met somebody today and they were like, "Man, how do I get involved?" Where do they start? Or where you recommend them to start?
Probably our socials, right? Instagram, like on our Instagram, and like Pat really does a good job of like, it's just kind of crazy. Like when we first started, he does everything.
Right.
Like you see him in the streets, like, he's also a family man, but like he runs the socials, like sometimes I just find I'm like, dang, like he really does everything. Yeah. Like he's making the phone calls, he's on the ground, like he's picking up the groceries, delivering the groceries, like he really does a lot. But I say that to say, like, our Instagram is always definitely like, to the minute, posts are going up, whether it's like what we're doing.
Gotcha.
But in the bio, there's a link to our Linktree, and it has like our Cash App, our PayPal, any way you can donate like monetarily, and then if you want to get involved.
Right.
All our events that like we're doing, we post them
Okay.
on there.
That's what I was thinking more. So like, let's say somebody want to do both. You have where they could donate, but if they're like are there any urgent, dire needs of assistance to where it's like, man, if you have some extra hands or able to move around, we need y'all for this. Like, what would that look like for y'all right now that y'all working on, to where somebody can come?
Just hit us, because we always have something going, and we do collaborative efforts. We have collaborative efforts with other organizations. So even for example, Feed the People, another mutual aid organization in Dallas, they're running a water campaign. We can always use, this is every day too.
Yeah.
Right.
This ain't just once a week, or this is every single day. We're going to homeless encampments where like people are exposed to the elements, like not in AC, no nothing. Like we find these peoples in these pockets in areas of the city, and we give them water, we give them food, we give them fruit, all kind of stuff to help them bear the Texas summer heat. So we do stuff every day, on the weekends, etc. Even today, like we just, for our physical fitness initiative, we got Pull Up at the Park. You're very familiar with that.
Pull Up at the Park.
Pull Up at the Park. We're doing a pull up, chill, listen to music, you know, some light, hoop, you know, and that's a part of the whole spectrum of the revolution and what we got going. So yeah, just hit us, like she said, on the socials, hit us via email, visit the website if you need to, and somebody get in contact with you immediately, same day almost.
That's what's up, man. You know, I saw it was during the winter storm in Texas. There was a lot of videos floating around about the ugly things homeless people are facing, right? I think I seen a video of a guy freezing to death. You know, it's like, man, it's unfortunate that or maybe there are places. I mean, of course, there's shelters, but it's unfortunate that, man, didn't have any like assistance or help at that time to help them get out of that. For instances like that, when we do have, like Texas has emergencies like that, what are usually like the first things or the first response for help for situations like that, where people don't even look that way first?
Man, honestly, I think mutual aid organizations on the ground, because honestly, it's because it's still a growing scene,
right,
and it's still a strengthening scene. A lot of people don't have a lot of knowledge about that. First thing they think is Red Cross or FEMA or some along those lines, and with everybody thinking that, they're gonna get jammed, they're gonna get overwhelmed eventually. It's kind of crazy that we pay all these taxes to our government, and when actual disasters happen or things happen, they don't have the capacity to handle the need, no matter what it is, you know. But the mutual aid scene itself,
right?
Because it's more than just us.
Nah,
it's a plethora of organizations in the DFW alone that can do that work, that can help, that can provide any type of assistance during that disasters, emergencies, non-emergencies, like day-to-day stuff, etc. So yeah, 100% the mutual aid scene. People overlook that a lot.
Nah, for sure. I want to know individually, what drew you personally to get involved in the community and to form this organization? Because of course you're here now, but like, what was that moment that you realized I got to do more? You know what I'm saying? We can start with you, Coy, and then go to you, Pat.
It was for me, it was the Ahmaud Arbery shooting.
Okay.
When that video surfaced, I was like, that was like a few weeks before like the George Floyd.
Right. It was like
and
back
like,
to back.
Forgive me if I get emotional. I'm trying not to, but
I feel you.
but that was, I just kind of remember like where I was sitting, like when I watched that video, and Pat was literally the first person. Like I thought to myself, like, what do we do?
Right.
Like what do we do physically? Like, and so I called Pat and I asked him, and I probably hadn't talked to him in a couple of weeks. Like you see each other on Instagram here and there, but I probably hadn't seen him in a while. But I called him and I said, hey, I literally just want to know, like, what do we do? Like, how do we do our part physically? Like we can share, we can repost, we can retweet, we can sign petitions, but like, how do we physically do our part?
Right.
And he literally told me, he said, we got to get organized, we got to mobilize. And I just straight up asked him, and I was like, well, like, was that something you would be interested in doing? And he immediately was just like, I'm 100% down. And from that day, it was just like, we just been out there with it, in the trenches with it, like, for sure.
Really in the trenches with it.
Yeah, like.
Yeah. What about you, Pat? I feel like, man, you've been, even before it was an organization, it's just always been embedded in you, in your soul. Like I would watch your stories and posts, and be like, man, My brother deep, man.
He's just different.
Yeah, just
like,
different.
And
Young man with an old soul, but like a
and he
Fred
was
Hampton
always,
vibes.
He was just
I
always.
try.
I always looked to Pat for like political education.
Right, exactly.
You know, like I think that's just something that a lot of people that look like us may lack growing up. Whether it be just not paying attention in school, that's what it was for me. You know, like government class or like you know, I wasn't. You know, oh, we got a new president. I just wasn't. It just didn't speak to me that much growing up.
If it didn't directly affect us, we wasn't
exactly.
really involved in it.
So
personally, it really started back in high school. You know, when they had like class president and all that kind of shit. I would always want to run for it, but like because of the type of student that I was and the GPA, you had to have like on some. I was square, fam. You had to have like a 2.5 or like a 2.7 GPA, and I was like a 2.3 type of, you know what I'm saying, type of student.
Yeah. So
I never could participate, but like the yearning to do it was always there. Once I got grown, I want to say when I was about 25, 26, I got involved with the Dallas County Young Democrats. I was with the organization for about a year. I became the secretary. I became a precinct chair for the Dallas County Democratic Party, precinct 1122. I never forget it. They were pretty much responsible for like, you know, passing out literature and like, you know, starting, doing campaign stuff.
Right.
Essentially, anybody that was Democrat, we would like advocate for them. So stopped messing with the Democratic Party, specifically after the 2016 election. Started doing more personal, studying and looking up information in regards to past movements like Fred Hampton and the Rainbow Coalition and his role in the Panthers and a lot of what Malcolm talked about in terms of Black liberation, the structure, and just studying strategies. I looked at it from a very practical standpoint. You know, I was just wild interested in it. So I always wanted to start a community organization when I stopped messing with the Dallas County Young Democrats because my heart was still in community service. Right. I just never got the time. That's how capitalism do you. I never got the time to start it. Right. I never had the opportunity or the chance. Like capitalism had me on the treadmill 24/7, working for Scoremore, working for Live Nation, doing side projects, doing stuff for etc. and like managing people. And the pandemic sat everybody down. Everybody down. Everybody got sat down during the pandemic. And when Coyia called me, it was I'm not even on like spiritual person or real religious person, but that was a sign from the powers that be, the universe, whatever you want to call it. I looked at it as a sign because me and Coyia had been in cahoots, was talking about getting me a job for Adidas as being a marketing rep, but that never really kind of worked out. It was timing and all kind of other stuff. Right. But the timing with this was just, it was absolutely too divine, fam. Yeah. Too divine. That's the best word I can use for it.
There was like a few things that we tried to work on together that just didn't, I mean, like we talked about, you know, like doing things together, but it just never really like, we just never saw it through. Yeah, and so like, when that happened, and like I don't think when I called him, I expected for like us to be here today. Like no. We did not expect for like UPC to be a thing. Right. I just literally wanted to know like, hey, what do I do? Yeah. You know? Yeah. So.
And a part of that was Stokely Carmichael said it best, fam. We got to organize. At the end of the day, he said this man said this well into like his final years of his life. Organization is key. Mobilization is key. Like where there's people, there's power, and that could be with any sect of people. You know what I'm saying? Any sect of people, and that's beautiful to see because the pandemic really showed a lot of people that they could mobilize and they could make a difference in mass. You just got to be together. You got to have the same purpose.
Not facts, bro. And while you were saying it, it really struck a nerve. Cause I'm like, bro, it definitely gave me, you know, the Fred Hampton Rainbow Coalition vibe, bro. And I was like, I see what y'all doing, bro. And it's a little off subject, bro, but I'm sure y'all seen the film. What y'all think about it?
It was great. I mean, it was. I hate that they made the film about Iraq. Yeah. But it was an interesting perspective. You know what I'm saying? I just hate that they made the film about him. Yeah. I wish it was more about Fred and his early days and You know what I'm saying? Up until what happened to him, and people don't realize how real shit got after he died.
Okay.
There were like they said in the movie, there were people going through the house looking at it and seeing it, and like there was still blood stains, and like this went on for like months. So I think that it was good. I think that everybody in the movie did a good job.
Yeah.
The depictions were good as well.
Yeah, I remember I used to see like some reviews and said that I can't remember his name, but the actor who played Fred, they were like, man, he wasn't believable. I thought he did amazing. Yeah. Like I feel like he picked up the mannerisms. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I thought he picked it up a lot. Even the accent was almost there. You know what I'm saying? It was maybe like it's not spot on, but it was close.
Yeah.
That speaks to something, a black diaspora cultural problem. You can't, when you tell stories like Fred Hampton is a black American whose family grew up in the South. Yeah. He's probably a third generation black American. There's an energy that black Americans embody that nobody in the black diaspora embodies.
Right.
When you tell our stories, it has to be somebody from where we're from.
It has
Not
to be
saying
told by us.
Yeah, not saying that they can't do a good job, because he did do a good job. But if you want like you said, like it was something a little like
Just a little off.
It's just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a
it's
little
the
bit.
Americanism.
Yeah. He's black, but
It's the Americanism.
Yeah.
Look at Selma.
Nah, right.
He did his thing. Beautiful movie, gorgeous movie. He wasn't American.
Yeah, and they've been getting a lot of the main roles too lately. You know what I'm saying? Great actors, but at the same time, like you said, like it needs to be a black American to tell these stories.
It needs to be, and even with that too, like black Americans shouldn't allow themselves to be the token black person. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boswick played Thurgood Marshall,
Right.
because at that point in Hollywood, he was tokenized as the go-to quality black American actor. He's probably one of the most talented and revered black American actors in the generation. You know, most of them now in our age, they coming from Britain, they coming from other places.
They are.
They respect the art. They respect the art of acting. Chadwick Boswick got tokenized. Thurgood Marshall was a light-skinned male that came from the middle class, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But Thurgood Marshall, the reason he got where he was at was because of his skin color. That plays a big role. And when you allow people that aren't of your culture to tell your stories, you're going to get key elements to fall through the cracks. Right. You know. Right. So that's a whole thing, man. Yeah. Black acting and just the art of it in Hollywood. That's a whole thing, fam.
Yeah, man. But I think it stems from y'all picking up all these things because y'all do y'all research. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's what's wrong with, I'm gonna say, individuals, period, today. You know what I'm saying? With social media, they just scroll. They can't fight on Instagram or Twitter real quick. They done for the day. You know what I'm saying? If they Google, they maybe look the first one or two. But I'm assuming that y'all take deep research into whatever y'all doing, because that's why it's successful, and that's why you're actually reaching people, because you know what to do, you know where to look and where to go. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they don't, like you said, capitalism. They too worried about themselves, where that next dollar is coming from, to actually sit down and do the work that it takes. You know what I'm saying? So I will also want to know, bro, like, it doesn't take motivation, it takes discipline to keep going. But if you had to give like a wise words for people who do want to help, or people who just want to get started, anything, like I said, it took for you to be fed up to be like, man, where do I start? What advice would you give to somebody else that may want to start their own community organization or a business or just anything just to get involved and get active? What advice would y'all give them?
I do a lot. I do a lot. So I would say balance is key. And I think like anybody can start their own organization or their own business or, whatever it is that you want to do. But I think it's just like, it's so important to be able to like balance. And with build you a team. Like a lot of people like really kind of only want to do stuff for credit or to say like they did it. And so they want to do it by themselves. Right. Because it's like, and of course, we kind of have this thing like, I don't need nobody, I can do it on my own. But like, build you a team, and like, there's people, find the people around you that are good at what they do, and see if they want to do it. And that's kind of how I started. I called Pat. Like, I knew who would know the answer to my question, and that was the first person that I called. So, yeah, I would say, use your resources, use the people around you, and just go after whatever it is that you want to do.
That's real.
Yeah, and the revolution is a multi-lane highway.
Okay.
You just got to find your lane. Find your lane, and like she said, utilize your resources to your best ability in that lane. It could be literally gathering up donations for organizations. It could be getting out the word. This is a revolutionary interview. Like you interviewing people in the community that have a cause to push, a positive cause to push. There is so many making magazines or you doing health checkups and organizing that type of stuff and just linking people and clicking people up, and you know what I'm saying? You can dedicate 1 hour out of the day to picking up trash. That's revolutionary.
Man.
You know, it's small. You can literally dedicate 1 day to give out water, a cooler full of water to homeless encampments. It's just
Couple hours.
Go watch somebody else clothes besides yours. You know what I'm saying? Pay somebody a bill. You know what I'm saying?
So
it's a plethora of ways.
Gotcha.
Plethora of ways. Just like I said, find your lane in the revolution. Yeah, stick to it. Do your thing.
So basically, it doesn't have to be one gigantic move. Like people can do the small things that add up and equate to doing their part for the revolution.
Yeah,
100%.
100%.
Okay. I feel like that's where people kind of like lose sight. They're like, man, I gotta do something big, or like, how can I give out something big, or I gotta wait for like a big event. That's what I really see. Like, I gotta wait for a big event or a big community service meetup. But what y'all saying, like, man, this stuff you can do day to day to help.
You can put your own cooler in your car and throw it in the back seat. You construction workers, or like we for sure, like Pat's been out there every day from like 12 to 5, like, filling up coolers, and it's Pat and Rico? A couple people from Robin Hood Inc. and Feed the People. But there's a ton of people out there, just on the ground doing the work. Yeah. So don't ever, if you in Dallas, like, there's definitely like places you can go. Not My Son is one of them that's out there.
We take the streets. There's
a ton.
Skip Shockley Foundation, the PSL DFW, DSA North Texas. Man, it's a lot, fam. Yeah. It really is a lot. And even if you're not involved with one of those organizations, small things every day, because you never know what it could lead you to. Right. It makes you feel good internally. It makes you feel grateful as a person. It makes you feel humility when you're able to service other people. And you never know where that emotion could lead you to. Mm-hmm. You never know. You never know. Like, we used to have these giveaways, and we started off with literally a fold-out table and just clothes people gave to us. And to see that it led to a mutual aid center to where we can service people every day, and a 24/7 fridge and pan, and like all kind of other stuff, like, it's beyond amazing. So like, I know if I can experience that feeling, that emotion, and what it could lead up to, others can as well. It's gonna be a variation of it. Right. And the beautiful thing is the way capitalism has us set up, people are always going to need help.
Oh, for sure.
Always. And I think that with the work that we do, the work that we do along with others, we have to build a dual power structure. Right. You know what I'm saying? Opposite of capitalism, until we're able to bring the capitalistic system itself down. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? Or at least use it to our advantage. The working class person can use it more to their advantage, just like the 1% uses it to their advantage.
Gotcha. That's what's up, bro. And before we head out, the last question I want to ask you guys: when y'all started UPC, who was like the first person or first organization to kind of co-sign y'all and help y'all get the name out? Was it a donation? Whether it was a share, like just somebody? It doesn't have to be like a big person, but just somebody like saw what y'all was doing and like, you know what? Let me point them to this direction. Let me help them with this. Who was like one of the first main co-signs y'all received?
You want to go first? I think we may have different answers.
Okay.
Who you say is Vanessa?
Nah.
Who was it?
Taylor, Fort Oak Cliff.
Oh, okay.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Our,
for sure.
Our very first program, the grocery delivery program, we serviced 50 people. This is, the first program we ran as we started the organization. And the 50, they were all over Dallas, Irving, Oak Cliff, Pleasant Grove, everywhere. Taylor he allowed us to get 50 boxes, 50 of them food boxes. When they did distribution on Wednesdays, get 50 boxes and go deliver it to our people. And not only us, but a lot of organizations, they would feed off of what he was doing. Okay. And he embraced it. He He embraced us.
That's what's up.
It was beautiful. He embraced us like 100%. It was no questions asked ever.
That's what's up. Taylor touring the 4 Cliff.
Yeah, no questions asked. Like, yeah, that was our very first, to me, our very first like big cosign.
Yeah.
You say the same?
Yeah, I agree. Cause
Yeah.
that was
big.
that was huge.
They got us on our feet.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Like we literally just got to, you know, we asked, you know, like if people wanted to like volunteer, like, hey, we're gonna be here at this time. You know, we were able to get a list of like families in different parts of Dallas, South Dallas, West Dallas. There was even some in urban that we had touched.
Yeah.
Like I think it was 50 people, right?
Yeah, 50 people.
So we were able to pull up. Food came. We loaded cars, and you know, like two people got in each car, and everybody just kind of touched a little area and delivered boxes to people, and like people were just so grateful too.
Man, I bet that's real.
Yeah, we did that once a week for about 2 months, I believe.
Oh dang.
Our very, very first program that really kind of legitimized us, I believe. That made us people look at us and be like, yeah, like they're here to do the work. They're serious, you know. So yeah, 4 Cliff, man. Like
that's what's up. Shout out to 4 Cliff. And before we get out of here, y'all have the Mutual Aid Center, right?
Yeah.
Tell us where that's at, address, where they can find it at. That's where, you know what I'm saying, we can really get people to help. Because people want to help, man. At least from our audience, people want to help. You know, I'm just going to help them help. I'm going to give them, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to walk them in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We appreciate that 100%.
Please do.
The Mutual Aid Center is located at 4500 South Malcolm X Boulevard.
Okay.
We're usually operational from about 12 to 6 every day.
Okay.
Every day about 12 to 6, 1 to 6. The weekends it kind of varies. I'm there usually around like 12 to 1, 11 to 1 type situation for our grocery delivery. But yeah, Mutual Aid Center is accessible during those hours. We got free feminine hygiene products, personal hygiene products, baby stuff, harm reduction items, household items, tissue, paper towels, laundry detergent, stuff that strengthens the community, everyday stuff that the people need, you know. So we got that, and the fridge and pantry as well on the outside of it, also located at the same address, 4500 South Malcolm X Boulevard. 24/7.
Is that man, or people just come up, walk, and take what they need?
Come up and take what you need.
Anytime. We leave the little gate open. Anytime.
24/7.
Fruits,
Fruits,
canned goods.
Same with donations. Somebody can just go in there, drop it off, put in the fridge, all that.
All that. Drop off whatever you want.
That's love.
People out. It is beautiful, like when we fill up the pantry.
Yeah.
And then you come back the next day and you see shit is gone.
Yeah.
And or on a random Thursday morning, I see that, somebody dropped off, 500 oranges or something random like that. Like, it's beautiful because the community really does help keep it stocked, and the Mutual Aid Center and the fridge and pantry, they keep it going for us to be able to serve the people, you know. So, yeah, if you want to make a physical donation, any personal feminine hygiene products, baby stuff, any
paper
food,
towels,
paper
tissue,
towels,
laundry detergent, baby formulas.
Yeah, baby formulas.
Everything.
Everything. Monetarily, if you want to, like she said, gave you the links earlier. Monetarily, physically, or even your time, your body, your physical self. So, however you want to do it, we'll accept it.
That's what's up, man. Y'all heard it here on COSIGN Magazine, here with the founders of United People's Coalition. You know, whether you got time, extra money you can spare, or your physical abilities, please make a donation. Please support. Please get out there. You know, let's serve others. Let's not be by ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Especially times like this, man, it's needed to help others. You know, we're going to do our part at COSIGN. Hoping y'all do your part as well. And as always, continue the COSIGN life. And I appreciate y'all for your time, man.
Appreciate
you,
brother.
Man. We appreciate you, for sure.
Hey guys, what's good? Thanks for supporting COSIGN Magazine by watching this video. If you really enjoyed this content, please subscribe, like, comment, and share.